Hold on for a second. Okay, just checking something there, folks. Sorry about that. But yeah, I wanted to come on here when I still have the place to myself, and it's Labor Day weekend, so my mom's not going to be back for at least a couple of hours, I'm assuming. But I wanted to come on because she's visiting with family and stuff, helping them out. But I wanted to come on here and talk about the new Windows 10 update, formerly known FKA, formerly known as the May 2019 update, which for a lot of us, I'm assuming for a lot of us, unless we have this option, dropped this past week. Now, initially, from what I understand, it did drop maybe a couple months ago, depending on your level of Windows, operation. Like whether you're a beta tester. Easy for me to say, whether you're a beta tester, pro or whatever. Depending on how long, depending on what level you're at. Windows 10, I can enunciate here. Windows 10's May 2019 update, like I said, dropped for a lot of us possibly this past week, and if not this past weekend. Basically, you might be saying, well, why is it called May 2019 when it drops in August? May 2019 is when it was basically introduced to us. Basically, like, this is the next big one to come. But the one thing about Microsoft and its Windows 10 updates, especially the big ones, is the fact that even though they're initially named after certain months in a year, they don't drop until several months later. Because you got millions of Windows users out there, Windows 10 users I should say, out there, that it would be impossible to drop it all at once. There might cause some kind of an outage or something, or an overload, or basically an overload / crash on the entire Windows system and the computers that would have to would be getting that installment. But I will say this, with a few notable differences, and I'll get into those in a moment. The Windows 10 May 2019 update, besides getting that traditional, after one of these big updates come up and your computer restarts and everything, and then you get one of the first things you see when you click on your Microsoft Edge or your Internet Explorer or your Google Chrome or your Firefox browser, you get this message of telling you what the new features are, your option to learn about some of the new features now, choose what things you want to utilize out of the new features, stuff like that. So basically, besides that, it doesn't feel like there's much of a difference. Now, I could have easily put my battery back on the back of my computer here, and maybe that would have helped, because one of the things I've noticed is when I look at the availability of power, it doesn't say, it says 200, what it says is 255%, apostrophe, plugged in apostrophe. Well, you get the idea. But it says 255% plugged in, which is something new to me. And I'm sure it's new to a lot of other people. It's doing something right there. But like I said, I'm sure it's new to a lot of other people. But it's not the only thing. Like I said, of course, you get that little notification or welcoming to this new update. But besides that, it doesn't really feel like much has really changed. I mean, I will say this: when you go to the Windows icon on the bottom left-hand corner that you click on, and then you go to the power icon that allows you to choose either to put the computer to sleep, shut it down, or reboot, or reset, if you will. It actually has the icons the way it's supposed to. It has, if I can just get this here for a second. There we go. But it has the crescent moon for sleep. It has the power icon. It has the crescent moon icon, I should say, for sleep. It has the power icon for power, turning it off. And it's got the repeat icon, for restart. But again, not really much has changed. And obviously that's a good thing. And I'm looking, and it looks like one of the things they did do, that they said they were going to try to do, was make it less clutter. And it looks like they've done just that. It even has your mail all in one place. Like you have Google Mail, Hotmail, Comcast, whatever, Outbox, or Outlook, I should say. It's all right there. The other thing it's supposed to do now is give you notifications. And that's one of the things, of course, that the new Windows, this new update is supposed to give you, is the ability to download or, well, I wouldn't say download, but basically have the options to be able to choose like what notifications you get. Like one of the things they did promote is having the notification of when you're going to get an update and everything, stuff like that. One of the things it did do, and I have noticed this, is when you go to the search bar, it has a lot of your top apps, like a lot of your top, apps and recent activities all in one area. So that's pretty good. It doesn't have no documents. It has the webs. Again, it has everything, folders. In the More section, it has folders, music, people, photos, settings, and video, which is pretty cool. I'm assuming. But again, like I said, after it's all uploaded and stuff, it basically gives you that welcoming screen on your browser, giving you those options to learn, choose what notifications you want, get started on certain things. And the other thing it does is when you go to the notification icon on the button, or on the bottom right hand or left hand corner, and let me look at something for a second. Yeah, when you go to the bottom left hand corner or right hand corner of your computer where the notification icon is, you'll notice that the notifications there have a bit more to them. They don't only have tablet mode, depending on whether or not you can turn your computer into a tablet, and network and all settings, and airplane mode, and location, and focus assistant, which I think is a new one, as well as it still has Bluetooth. Hopefully they fixed that. But they also have VPN, which I think they've had before, battery saver, which I would put on there if my battery wasn't low, project, which I think is new, connect, which I think is connecting like your phone and stuff, mobile hotspot, nightlight, and screen snip. In other words, you can, I think, snip a picture of your screen to utilize. But yeah, basically, besides that, not really much has changed. really. I mean, one of the things you will do when you go into the search bar and you type in, Win, which is short for Windows, and it brings up, like, one of the options is check for updates. One of the things it will show you is the updates that are pending and optional. So I will say this, that basically what was it? Oh yeah. Just trying to see something here, guys. Hold on. But like I said, it's basically they're optional. But knowing how Microsoft works, the pending ones and possibly the optional one are going to get installed anyway. Either we like it or we don't. So like I said, either we like it or we don't. They're going to get installed anyway. But again, besides that, not really much has changed. Besides those little snippets and everything. I will admit that it does seem to be going a little bit smoother. It's a little quicker on the uptake, like when it comes to loading. And it's a little bit, not much. Just a tiny bit. Better on the uptake when it comes to loading, getting to the point and stuff. The only problem is you can kind of tell there's a little stiffness. Maybe it's just a few more bugs that are in there. So we'll just have to wait and see what they do there. But overall, besides that, if I was to give it a grade, I would have to give it maybe an 85% grade on improvement. With 15% of that still kind of like there are issues. And the issues basically are the ones that have been reported recently online, whether you want to believe some of them or you don't. And I guess it all depends on whether you have a laptop, you have a PC, what is it, a Surface, a Windows Surface, a Google Surface, whatever. Mostly I think it's Windows Surface, or Microsoft Surface, if you will. Whatever the reasoning, people seem to be, and this is the 15% that I take away, but people seem to be upset about the fact that reports have come out through various tech sites like TechRadar and places like that, CNET, I think, Newsweek has even talked about it, that despite the overall praise, like I said in one video, in that update video I did a couple days ago, despite the overall praise of people liking it, there are still a few bugs. And one of the bugs is the fact that the CPU usage is very high. It's very high to the point that reports are coming out of 30 to 40% CPU usage is being utilized, which is about 150 to 1,000 megabytes, or 150 MBs to 200 MBs. And it's all because of Contra, or what's the name? Contra, or Contraire, or Cortana, or Cortana, whatever. CON, or CORTANA. Review tech said it better than I do. Contra, if you will, Contra. And it's mostly when you utilize that the CPU usage goes up, apparently. So, it seems that some people have seen this. And mostly the beta testers that have also seen this, and they've reported it, and yet Microsoft has done anything. I'm guessing because it's Labor Day weekend, they're going to wait till they get back, and once they see the issues, they'll be like, okay, the next update we got coming next Tuesday, bam, we're going to try to fix that. And they need to. They need to kind of address that, because not a lot of people. Okay, I'll put it this way: not a lot of people will notice it, so they won't have a problem. But those that have a specific kind of system will notice. They will notice. So if I'm Microsoft, I'm Windows, or I'm part of the Windows 10 division at Microsoft, I really would get my butt on the ball and make sure this is fixed, so that CPU usage isn't so high in the eyes of many consumers and users, I should say. But yeah, that's one of the things that gets knocked off a little bit. The other thing that gets knocked off, and this is just my own personal gripe, because I've dealt with this, especially with this big thing right next to me. But it's the fact that one of the reports that came out, and I don't know if this is optional, like something you can use or utilize, but from what I read, it's not. And that is the fact that with the May 2019 update, Microsoft Windows 10 reserves the right to utilize 7 gigabytes of your storage as reserve storage. Yeah. I'll put it to you like this. With my computer down there, okay, one of the things that always used to get to me, as well as some of the previous laptops I've had, the one thing that would annoy me is I would lose some space. And I'd be like, why am I losing so much space, right? So I would go to a certain section of the folders in the computer called the cache folders, I should say, the CACHE, the cache folders. And I would notice that sometimes they'd be massive in file size, and I'd be like, what the? And I'd be like, how did this happen? And then I would see that it's nothing more than backups of stuff I've already done. So one of the things I would end up doing is deleting, and I mean this, deleting all of that to clear up space. And that's the one problem I have here. And that's the one problem I have personally, is that they're reserving 7 gigabytes of internal storage to basically back up stuff. And yeah, and look, I understand backups are great, but really you should give the consumer and the user the option to allow you to do that. And if they have, that's great, because I haven't really noticed any additional folder or anything when I go to the PC portion to see like how much space I have everywhere else. So I haven't really noticed that much. But like I said, honestly, they need to let us know before they do something like that, and at least give us the option to say yay or nay. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. So anyway, I know this video has gone a lot longer than it should, but I just thought I'd come on here and let you guys know about how the new Windows 10 May 2019 update that's been talked about for a while is going for me. I'm not sure about you, but so far it's going good. Like I said, the only issues that I've heard about that people have a problem with is Contra. Contra, I think that's how you pronounce it. CORTANA. Is causing high CPU usage of up to 30 to 40%, and utilizing 150 MBs to 200 MBs, megabytes that is. So that's the only big issue that I feel has been reported. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm sure other people feel the same way. The other thing that I don't like is the fact that they're utilizing and reserving 7 gigabytes. It may not seem like much when one has a computer that was basically a terabyte, or at least around a terabyte when he got it. But still, 7 gigabytes is 7 gigabytes. So to utilize that without getting all permission, it's not really good. Now, oh, and one other thing before I go, when I turned on my computer today, I had this screen pop up, and it was basically the introduction like screen of here's all the stuff you could do. You want to do it, or you want to wait later. And I just went wait later. I'm sure it's gonna pop up again. It may just make me do it without any reason. Who knows? But one of the other things they have acknowledged that they want to give an option of changing is not just face recognition to get on your computer to log in, thumb or whatever, but also utilizing your cell number. In other words, by connecting this with your computer, all you have to do is type in your cell number and it will send you a text with your password or whatever option way to get in. So that's probably just going to be the options they give you, because they talked about that last time with the last major update, and for me it's still the same. It's just options is what it is. But yeah, this screen popped up and I just thought I'd let you guys know that. But anyway, like I said, I know this video is going longer than some people hoped it would, and just again thought I'd come on here and let you know what's happening, how I've been dealing with Windows 10, my Windows 10's May 2019 update. Let me know what you guys think though down below. What is your experience with the new May 2019 update? How do you feel about it? What issues do you think have to be addressed besides the two I've talked about? And what are your thoughts on some of the new features and stuff? And that's really about it. So let me know down below. Comment if you like. I'm out.